Get ready to see the biggest KJV fail in the book. Isaiah 9:6, let's look at it in the KJV. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. This one verse has caused so many to stay in Trinity doctrine. Now let's look at it in the Septuagint. And what is the Septuagint? The collection of compositions commonly known as the Septuagint is an ancient translation of the Hebrew Bible, so that's about as original as you can get, the Jewish scriptures into Greek. Although there are many English translations of the Bible, only a few English translations of the Septuagint exist. So this is an English translation of the Septuagint, which is based off the Hebrew. So, what does it say in the Septuagint? Isaiah 9:6. Let's see. Because a child was born to us, a son was given to us, whose leadership came upon his shoulder, and his name is called, here we go, Messenger of the Great Counsel. For I will bring peace upon the rulers and health to him. Hallelujah. So we see here it doesn't say anything about being the everlasting Father. It calls him the messenger of the great counsel. Do you know what a messenger is? You may not be ready for this, but a messenger is an angel. Trinity doctrine is heresy. If you want to see more proof that Trinity doctrine is false, click on the comment at the beginning of this video.
Well, the biggest fail of this creator is her failure to actually understand what Isaiah is actually talking about, and doing the exact same thing that many people who have somewhat walked away from Christianity, but what they do is they somewhat walk away from Christianity, calling themselves correcting Christianity, but yet still trying to hold on to some variation of Christianity. Now, she's right. Jesus is not part of the Trinity. The Trinity is something that was created over a period of a few hundred years by those who had adopted the religion. But the biggest failure is how she characterized the entire thing. I'm going to start at the end and then go into the meat of the conversation. She's trying to equate Jesus as being a messenger, and that would actually be true if the Jesus character, the Yeshua character, actually existed. But being a messenger doesn't necessarily mean that you are an angel. Was not Moses a messenger of this Yahweh God? Was not the apostles messengers of this God? Were not the people like Jacob a messenger of this God? Joshua a messenger of this God? Elijah a messenger of this God? There are many humans in the Bible who were messengers of this God. So you don't necessarily have to be an angel. Yes, Gabriel was a messenger. Michael is a warrior messenger. So yes, you do have it where angels are messengers. So you can go either way with that one, depending upon your subjective thought concerning the Bible itself. But the main part that she missed, the main part that she's not realizing, is that Isaiah is not talking about Jesus at all. It's not talking about Yeshua at all, not even slightly. So when you read Isaiah, you have to understand Isaiah in multiple parts. Had to answer the door. But so Isaiah, what you have to understand about Isaiah is the fact that Isaiah was written at 3 different time frames. It is not written by the prophet Isaiah in its totality. Part of Isaiah was written prior to the Babylonian exile. Another part of Isaiah is written during the Babylonian exile. And the last part of Isaiah is written after the end of the Babylonian exile. So therefore, Isaiah is not written by one person at one time frame, but written over a century or so. So when you look at Isaiah 7 and Isaiah 9, they are both written prior to the Babylonian exile. And it was written to the king of Judah at the time. The king of Judah was feeling weak, was feeling like the Assyrians and the Assyrians were going to attack him. And being in a weakened situation, offered a bribe, monetary bribe, to the Assyrian king. In the same way, later on, we get that with the northern kingdom of Israel. Now, because they were feeling this way, they felt that their God had abandoned them, and they were feeling as if they would become oppressed by the Assyrians. But what Isaiah was saying, when you look at Isaiah 7, it says, and it is a mistranslation, the original text of Isaiah says, a virgin has given birth to a son. But on the rewrites and edits, and you'll understand why the rewrites and edit in a minute here, it was changed to will give birth. Now, when we get to Isaiah chapter 9, it is talking about how and it says it right there. She read it. She read and said that a son is given. It uses present tense language to talk about a child was born. So therefore, it is most likely, and the people of that day would have taken it to mean the child of the king of Judah. I think his name is Hazaz, but the king of Judah, and his son who was born to him, Hezekiah. Now, these things had to be edited because Hezekiah did not fulfill that to which Isaiah had prophesied about his birth. So since those prophecies had failed, it makes Isaiah a false prophet, because Hezekiah did not usher in this new time where the Israelites were not being oppressed. So therefore, it was a failed prophecy. So when Christianity gets revved up, and even before the canon is closed, the Hebrew Bible canon is closed in the first to 2nd century CE, they edited that part. This is why the Israelites are still looking for a Messiah, because it was earlier believed during that time frame, in and around 600 BCE, that Hezekiah was going to be the Messiah, but he didn't fulfill it. So they edited it. After they edited it, the Christians then looked upon it to say that this is a prophecy of Jesus, that Jesus is the one that came. The problem, though, is Jesus didn't fulfill this prophecy either. Jesus did not put the governments on his shoulder. If anything, Jesus didn't interact. Yeshua didn't interact with the government in such a way that he became the ruler of these governments. To this day, Yeshua is not the ruler of the governments, even in our ethereal thought processes. Jesus failed. The oppression still remained for hundreds of years. For over 1,000 years, the oppression remained. To today, the oppression still remains. So therefore, even the Yeshua character did not fulfill the prophecies of Isaiah. Now, some are going to say it will be fulfilled after Armageddon. This is why there's a 1,000-year reign of Jesus on earth, where there is nothing but peace and prosperity. Then he will let loose the devil for a while so that he can torment the people and trick people. And then his reign will last forever and ever, that he will be on top, and the governments, there will be no government other than this godly government in this heavenly realm. So they're looking forward to it. So it's been re-edited and rethought through and changed depending upon the culture and whatever happened in history to make it fit. And they will continue to make it fit. Some will even say that his reign is in heaven right now. It's ethereal. His kingdom is not of this earth. That's your subjective morality and your subjective actions of your God. It is not reality. They believe that Hezekiah was that guy, but Hezekiah just wasn't him. And so they changed it. That's the biggest failure that this creator missed, is that it was talking about Hezekiah and not your Jesus, and it failed. Therefore, Isaiah is a failed prophet. So, my false prophet. So what do you guys think? And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey.